Hello, today we're looking at problem number 1 from your geometry part 1 textbook. This is found on page 51, and it's talking about how to find the midpoint. When points are on just a number line, then you literally just have to add the beginning number and the end number together and divide by 2, which is what part A here is showing you. You have AB has endpoints of -4 and 9. What is the coordinates of the midpoint? So when you're doing that, you simply, again, you'll notice you're going to add the -4 to the 9, and you're going to divide by 2 here. And together, this equals 5 over 2, or the same as 2/2, or 2.5. My apologies. So the coordinate of the midpoint of AB, if it's on a number line, is simply just 2.5. Okay. However, sometimes they're in two-dimensional or on a coordinate plane. So EF is on a coordinate plane here, and the E endpoint is 7.5, and the F endpoint is 2, -4. What are the coordinates of the midpoint? Now, what you have to do here is you have to find the midpoint of X, then you have to find the midpoint of Y, excuse me. So, if you'll look, the two X values for E and F are 7 and 2. So notice that you simply add 7 and 2 together and divide by 2. That ends up being 9 over 2, or 4.5. We're going to do the same thing for our Y values. You're going to add 5 and -4 together and divide by 2, which are the two Y values. And that ends up being 1/2, or 0.5. Okay? Now, in the got it section, if we put those together here, you're going to end up with 4.5, comma, negative, or not negative, I can't speak today, 4.5, comma, 0.5 as the center point. So if you went over to 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and then went up 1/2, we're talking about that point right there. That would be the midpoint. Now, you don't necessarily have to graph it. It's just trying to give you a visual on this particular problem. Okay, let's look at the got it. It says JK has endpoints of -12 and 4 on a number line. This was like A that we done previously. And so all you have to do to find the coordinate of the midpoint is simply you're going to add the -12 and the 4 together and divide by 2. That's going to give you -8 over 2, or -4. So the coordinate for A here is going to be -4. Okay. Now, for the B value, what is the midpoint of RS? And again, because this is on the coordinate plane, they have two specific coordinates. You're going to take the sum of the two X values, which is 5 plus 3, and divide by 2. And for the Y value, it's going to be -10 plus 6. And you're going to also divide that by 2. Well, that ends up giving you 8 over 2 for this one, and -4 over 2 for this one. And when you clean that up, that's really nothing more than 4, -2. And that becomes your midpoint for part B. I hope this helps.